Hello everyone, this is Lester from GTA 5 and I'm going to teach you how to set up MIDI with Cockos Reaper. First of all, let me just say this. Once you get everything set up, leave it set up because this was a freaking hassle. Seriously, getting this thing, I mean this is a terrible setup, but I want to keep it as compact as possible. Usually I have room to put like devices here and there, but for this video, because I don't have a camera person, I think the camera's on a tripod, I had to condense everything into this little area. So first of all, we have a MIDI cable. The keyboard is already hooked up to the power supply, but I'm gonna go step by step to make sure you guys get this. So I'm using hopefully I'm not blocked here. I'll get over here. M-Audio Fast Track Ultra, which does have a MIDI input in the back. I also am going to run a direct injection, stereo direct injection. So I have this cable because unfortunately this keyboard has an 1/8 inch output. So I have a 1/8 inch stereo output connector on the other side. Go into 1/4 inch mono. So this is like left and right. And that's gonna go in there. So let me just go step by step. Let's get MIDI running first. Actually, let's do everything at the same time. So MIDI cable, nothing special. I don't care what brand you use. MIDI's MIDI. MIDI's been around since the 80s, so maybe even the 70s. So this is gonna go, and I'll shoot close-ups after this video is done. Right in here, tangled cable, of course. I don't cut out any of the mistakes. So we're gonna go in, let's see, our MIDI output, which is hard to see when I block it. Okay, so our MIDI output. By the way, I haven't done this in a long time, so bear with me. And this is actually a good thing because if you're brand new to this, we're gonna make mistakes together. So MIDI output, and I'm gonna keep the power off for now. It probably doesn't really matter, but just I like to keep things off until everything's hooked up. And then I'm going to bring the MIDI cable over to the M-Audio interface. Your interface layout will vary. And of course, I'm getting tangled. Oh, my cable I can't pull my cable out any further. Lovely. Okay. So that's going to make this a little bit harder to demonstrate. I'll figure something out. But on the interface, you're going to go into MIDI in. So that's going to be on our right side. Wow, this is I hate that. Like I said, like I was complaining about earlier, this setup is just terrible. My USB cable is only like maybe 4 feet long, and it's already driving me nuts. So our next step is going to be hooking up this cable into our direct boxes, or our direct injection, DI boxes, whatever you want to call them. So for this, we're going to go in to this connection right here, which is our headphone output. If you're lucky, your keyboard has a line output, and it also has phono plugs. But like I said, luckily I have this cable, and I can route these two into direct injection boxes. And so first I'm going to route this into the J48, the left channel, which is the gray cable. It's going to go into the input, and I'm going to make sure my pad's off. I want to have everything off, including the low cut. I don't want that on. The ground needs to be off, and the polarity switch is off. So that's that for that one. Moving the mouse out of the way and moving the keyboard out of the way, and things are falling. I don't really give a shit. Next step is to run, actually I got to connect this XLR cable, which is hanging out right here, into the J48. And then I'm going to plug that. Let me figure out where it's at right now. This is my normal voiceover mic cable. So that's going in. Okay, so it managed to get itself right here. So unfortunately my interface is broken. And my only inputs that are working are inputs 1 and 4. So I have to plug it in, number 1, and then I have another direct box. Ideally, you have the same direct box. I don't know if you can see me down here or not. Ideally, you have the same direct box, so the quality is not different between the channels. I don't have 2 J48s, but I do have a big amp, and I'm gonna plug in my right channel to the big amp down. Like I said, I don't know if I can see, if you can see what I'm doing, but I plugged that into the big amp, and then the big amp needs to go into its own XLR cable. When I reviewed the big amp, I did it wrong. I did not plug it into its own. I can't pull that out any further. And then I'm gonna plug this into the interface preamp. It's hard to do. This is like trying to read a book to a bunch of kids. You know, like I'm just gonna hook this up how I normally hook it up so that stuff doesn't get broken. Okay, now that that's out of the way, so our MIDI's in, we have both of our direct boxes in, and now it's time to turn on the keyboard. All right, keyboard lights on. I'm gonna turn the reverb off. I don't want that. And I'm gonna turn my volume to the 9 o'clock position. Next thing is to mess with Reaper over here. So I'm gonna click a few times. Actually, I'm gonna move my mouse so I can sync my video. I didn't do that earlier. And then I'm gonna go up to, excuse me. I'm gonna go up to options here, preferences, and then I'm gonna find my audio device. I already have that highlighted because I was messing with it earlier. Right now it's on direct sound. I wanna change that to ASIO. And then I'm gonna change my inputs all the way to input 4. And then sample rate really doesn't matter right now. Hit OK. Actually, no, I need to mess with MIDI. So let's see, MIDI down here, no. Shit. Here it is, duh, it's right in front of my face. MIDI devices. So we have Fast Track Ultra. Obviously that's what I want to add. So I'm going to right click that, configure input, and enable input from this device. Enable input for, I'll leave that disabled for now. And hit OK, so that's enabled. And then hit apply, hit OK. I probably don't have to hit apply, but I do that anyway. Probably could have just hit OK. So now this should be set up so that my my MIDI's working. And then I have input number 1 and input number 4. I would have did input 1 and 2, but like I said earlier, my interface is broken. So input 2 and 3 are broken, input 4 and 1 work. So what I'm gonna do now is double click to add 3 tracks. I could also do Control T, but my keyboard is not really in a great position to do that right now. So my very first channel, I'm gonna make this the MIDI. And so I'm going too fast for you guys. So right on my meter is where I choose my inputs. So I'm gonna click that and go to Input MIDI, Fast Track, Ultra, External, and then all channels. Okay? And then I'm gonna go to this, back to Input MIDI, map input to, okay, all MIDI inputs to all channels. And then this is my next step. I want to add a piano virtual instrument. So I'm going too fast again, sorry guys. FX, and then we're gonna go to VSTI for virtual instruments. And then we're gonna go down to, let's see, Neo Piano. And then I already have my piano loaded. You would need to add this because I have my default preset set to load this automatically, but you might need to click piano and then click this to load the piano instrument file that comes with Neo Piano, or however you normally would enable your MIDI instruments. So now that's set up. I should be able to hit arm and then hear, well, I won't be able to hear anything, but I should be able to press a key and then this works. There we go. Okay, so this is what I did. Again, I already have all my inputs set up. So it's input MIDI, fast track ultra, all channels. I don't know if it makes a difference if I just do all MIDI inputs to all channels. I think you could just do that and then anything hooked to MIDI, and there's only one thing hooked to MIDI, so I could just immediately go to all MIDI inputs and then all channels. And then I'm gonna hit arm, and then I'm gonna hit my record monitoring button so that it's on, and then I can hit a key, and there it is. It's rolling, and I'm doing screen capture, so there should be audio coming out. I see it on here, so there should be audio coming out. And I see it working on all the keys on Neo Piano, so it should be working perfectly fine. My next setup though is I'm going to enable input 1. So I'm going to click on the meter again, go to input, analog 1 is already selected, so I don't have to set that up. I can hit arm, and then I'm going to click on this meter, go to input mono analog in 4, click that, so my 4th input is enabled there. Now when I click this, nothing's happening. Okay, so now I'm going to enable the monitoring. Still not working. So let's see, maybe if I bring this, oh that's right, because my preamp is not set. So I'm gonna raise that up to, let's say 12 o'clock. Let's see if this works. And I'm gonna lower my volume on my keyboard back down to the 9 o'clock position. Still not getting anything. Oh, that's why. My J48 and my big amp require phantom power. That's not on right now. Now it is. Okay, see, I knew I was going to eventually make a mistake, and that's what it was. I did not have my phantom power enabled for the direct boxes. Now it should be coming through. There we go. See, now it's coming through, and I'm going to put the big amp, input number 4, raise that, the preamp level on that. Let's see if they match. Okay, I'm going to get them as close as they can. Actually, no, I can't do that, can I? All right, if I was doing this for real, I have a cable tester, a Behringer cable tester. I would run a tone through it into the direct boxes, and then I would make sure that those signals are equal to each other. I'm not going to do that for this video, but that's what I would do if I was doing a real recording, so that I would match my exact input levels. So now I have 3 inputs going. I have MIDI, and I have my direct boxes. So I'm actually going to record this for shits and giggles. I'm going to lower, actually I need to disable all my armed inputs because I'm going to change my sample rate. Okay guys, I just spent about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes trying to get my Fast Track Ultra back up online. After it crashed the computer, it would not come back up inside of Reaper, and most other audio guys might erase the footage and never show you guys what happened. But I think it's important because troubleshooting is a part of the learning experience. And so what ended up happening was I was trying to record audio with my screen capture software, and the audio that I had running through my ASIO driver is at 96 kilohertz. Well, computers don't like when you have different sample rates. Worst case scenario, your computer crashes. Least case scenario, or least worst, or whatever you want to say, is you have aliasing issues with your audio. So anyway, I'm not going to be able to play back audio because I have my ASIO driver going. Camtasia does not support ASIO, so blah, blah, blah. I want to just record it. I'll have the raw files available. Maybe I'll even just sync them up for the video. And just to show you guys, this is how it worked and how MIDI recording works. But the bottom line is, this is how I fixed it. First of all, I had to uninstall the M-Audio Fast Track Ultra drivers. I restarted the computer. Then I downloaded the drivers from Avid's website, from their Force download website, whatever it's called. Installed the drivers. Then I tried to open up REAPER. REAPER did not allow it to do that. It still wouldn't allow it. I tried all kinds of things trying to get the Fast Track Ultra to load up properly. Would not work. Crashed the computer again. So I uninstalled the driver again, restarted the computer, reinstalled the driver. The whole time the M-Audio is not connected to the computer. Here's the difference that I made this time around. Under REAPER, before I had the Fast Track turned on, I changed REAPER back to direct sound, to the direct sound card, to the sound card built into my computer. And then I disconnected the cable, the USB cable from the Fast Track. I plugged it back in. That made it initialize. When you initially install the hardware, in the bottom right corner it says installing hardware, installing new hardware. When that popped up, I knew something was different. The other thing that I did the second time around, I right-clicked on the install file, chose Run as Administrator. After it was finished installing, I restarted the computer. Even though it didn't say you had to restart the computer, I still did it. It's a habit I was used to doing, and I didn't do it again, so apparently that may have done it. Either way, everything's working fine, but the key thing to me was the Run as Administrator, restart after the drivers were installed. And then instead of powering the Fast Track on with the USB cable in, you power the Fast Track Ultra on and then connect the USB cable. I know that sounds silly, but it worked. So let's finish this video now. I'm gonna open up REAPER and show you guys once again how to do this, preferences. And we can also click up here in the upper right corner. We're gonna go to our devices. We're gonna change it from direct sound to ASIO. And then we're gonna make sure our inputs are 1 to 4 for this setup. I'm now on 441. I'm now on 441 under here, as you can see. I'm gonna X out of this. And then my MIDI devices, I'm gonna make sure I'm enabled. Yes, I am. If I'm not, I can just right click and then enable input, hit cancel. Let's add our inputs and MIDI for the first one. All MIDI inputs to all channels. Let's see if that works. Actually, my MIDI, my keyboard is off right now, but this should do it. Yep, there it is. And I can arm that. Oh wait, it's not doing it. Why is it not doing it? Oh, because it's still on direct sound. Okay. So let me do that. Devices, ASIO, M-Audio, hit OK. And then preferences, MIDI's good. So that's right, I can have MIDI going while I have my built-in sound card going. I forgot I could do that. And the way you could do that, because if you had the normal direct sound, there's a delay. You need to do ASIO for all, which I do have on this computer. See how it says, oh no, I don't have that anymore. I used to have ASIO for all. Oh wait, do I have it? Yeah, there it is, ASIO for all, as you can see. And so that I just have that all good. That's all good. Hit cancel. Arm this. Hit the monitor on. Arm this. Hit the monitor on. I can change analog 1 down here to analog 4. Now I have stereo. Yeah, I don't think I can do a stereo analog 1 and 4 stereo recording. That'd be cool if I could, but I'm not right now. So anyway, I can now record this, which I will, and I'll go to File, Save As, Save Project As. I'll just save this in MIDI test. MIDI test. All right, hit record. I have no idea when I'm recording because I can't hear it. I don't have my headphones plugged into the fast track. But if this was set up entirely, the fast track's outputs will be going to speakers, or I would plug headphones into the headphone output so I could hear what I'm doing. And also I don't have my my Neo piano up and running, do I? That might crash it if I add it while I'm recording. So I'm gonna choose not to do that. But let's see what happens. I'm gonna keep playing here. Oh, you know what? I should have lowered my input, because one thing I did forget to do is hit the keys as hard as I can, and then set my preamp based on that. So let's do that. I don't want to go in past like -12, and then I'll do that over here. I want a higher key for input 4. Okay. Jeez. Okay. So actually, I'll just do or something like that. But you guys get the idea. And now I'm gonna hit space and space again to save. And now I'm gonna disarm all these recordings, save my project file, and then I'm gonna open up Piano 1 so that I have some kind of virtual instrument going on. I keep calling it Piano 1, that's what it used to be called. I'll solo this and show you guys that it actually does work. See, my keys are going. Keys are going, there's audio going. Cool. And then if I want, I can come in here and I just double clicked on the file. I can make this really big. And then I can zoom in on all my little MIDI notes and scroll through here if I need to edit something. MIDI is a wonderful thing. Wonderful tool. And I hope I taught you guys something. I'm sorry my computer had to crash, but you know, it's a learning lesson for me, learning lesson for you. I hope you got some valuable information from this video. Again, this has been Adam, well, Lester, whatever you want to call me. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com.